Yeah.
It's still going. Done. Done. It's done. We're live.
Ah.
What? What?
Oh.
So now I need to come over to Facebook. Oh no, I need to go to Restream. I think. I think I can see us streaming in the studio. This is a bit different because now, nope, can't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, you just froze on the screen here.
Did I? Am I back?
Still there, but you just froze.
Of course I did. Of course I messed it up.
Oh my.
Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Did that help?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Okay. All right. What did I do? Let me see if I can stun my camera into working.
Oh, okay, it just went offline.
Yep.
There it goes.
There we go. There we go.
Color.
Yay, here we are. So what I need to do is figure out how to see comments on Zoom, which is fun. Oops, here we go. Did I just go away? No, there I am. Okay. So chat. No chat. Well, this is a problem.
What's that?
I can't see any comments, but that's okay. It's okay because I'm going to head over here to Facebook and I'll go to My Mystical Life and I will be able to see what they say from My Mystical Life, and that'll probably be about all I'll be able to see, and that's okay. See, don't I look calm and composed under, oh my gosh, Lisa lost everything. Here we go. Let me mute myself. There we go. Okay, so I can see comments. Oh, there we go. Everybody's already commenting. They're like, wait, we can see you. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have to snap. I have to snap my screen. That's why. Okay. This is a little bit technical, you guys, because his Zoom works better than he would on Restream. So we're trying to make sure that we make it super easy so both of us can access everything we have going on. So we were just trying to keep it all, we're trying to get some chill and some flow going, right? Some chill and some flow. So hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. I hope everybody has enjoyed the hell out of their Friday, because what it is weekend, right? I was talking to somebody today. She's like, this is the Mondayest feeling Friday I've had. I'm like, yeah, but it's the weekend. You have to work tomorrow, right? So with that, I'd like to say, this gentleman looks so familiar to me.
Oh.
Are you, I don't know where you are in my feed where they can see you, but to me, you're above me.
Yep.
This gentleman looks so familiar to me. No volume, just watching. Okay, but you guys can hear us, right?
Yo ho ho on a bottle of rum.
Right? It's a long day, Lori Spears. I got your message. Sorry. Been doing real estate stuff today. I'll talk to you later about how to adjust that, because I can't do it. You have to do it. And it's super easy. You can hear us. Great. Okay. So this is my father, Bill, and he is a longtime pagan. He has been in the pagan community of, well, we're not going to say a very, 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 very long time, but a long time.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason we're kind of on is I know he wanted to be in Ohio. I know he really wanted to go visit, and it is a big anniversary for the pagan community in which he was brought into and learned from, and all of those things. And I wanted him to be able to come on this evening as well to share a little bit. Hi, Daddy Bill. To be able to share some of his memories of how he got started, and we've talked about it here and there, and it's really kind of interesting and fun. Kind of like all the rest of our spiritual journeys, right? We kind of stumble into those, and they turn out to be something incredible. So would you like to talk a little bit about yourself and tell everybody a little bit about how long you've been in the pagan community, and just a little bit about what you do.
My craft name is Lord Sibilicus. Got to get that down first. I started studying under this mean, nasty, foul-tempered, sweet, wonderful, darling woman many, many years ago. Her name was Lady Circe. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of her or not, but she was in Toledo, Ohio. And what I did one evening, a long time ago, I got drunk and I walked into her place. Her business and her shop was open from like 7 o'clock at night till 2 or 3 in the morning. And it was called Circe's Treasures. I walked in because somebody told me about this weird old woman across town. And I walked in there and I slumped around and looked at different things. And just in general, made an ass out of myself. And a woman comes up. She started talking with me. And I thought, wow, this is an old hag, you know. Well, that old hag was Lady Circe. And that evening when I left, I says, well, take it easy. And she says, well, you'll be back. I told her, you're crazy as a bed bug. Well, 2 weeks later, I was back. And now all I bought that evening, that first evening I was in there, they had some marvelous incense. Of course, you old hippies probably familiar with that. Newer folks, not so much. But I bought a handful of incense. And when I walked back through the door, and this is an old mansion house that had been restored, I walked back through the door, and she was walking from one room to the next doing something. And she looked over at me. She just stood there for a second. She said, hi, Bill, and walked away. I thought, you don't know me. And nobody that I knew was going in there either. So nobody passed on any information like that. And I thought, yeah, okay, what's up with you? And then, anyhow, I did the same thing basically again. And she told me, you'll be back. I said, I ain't coming back to this place. Well, another 2 weeks later, I'm back again, buying some more incense. That was my excuse. And I walked in, and the guy, little fellow, was at where people check out at. They would sold incense and a few things like that there. And he walked in, oh, it's you. He's waiting for you in there. And I went in there, and she said, sit down. There was me, her, a table, and a candle. And she was going to read my cards. And I thought, oh, God, this is going to be fun. So anyway, she read my cards, which was jaw-dropping. And she told me a few things about my past, not in detail, but she was close enough to detail. And I said, cool. See you later. Oh, she said, you're going to be back again. Well, for the next 10 years, I guess, I studied under her. And I went through all 3 degrees, and just I taught classes with her. I taught classes when she was busy doing something else, which was just marvelous. Look her up on the internet, Lady Circe, Toledo, Ohio. She passed a few years ago. Yesterday was on the 8th was the 100th-year anniversary of her birth, and she is long since now gone also.
So I'm correct in saying that people come from all over the country to Toledo, Ohio.
She spent a few. Some come in from like California. She spent time in California teaching also, but it wasn't much. But people would come there just to sit in on a few classes, then go back to California, maybe come back a few months later. New York State, golly, you can't pick some place that she hasn't had students come to her with. And
amazing.
Just doing classes with her was, you almost had to go in biting your tongue, because if you said something wrong or you didn't study what you were supposed to study, you got dressed down. But,
well, hey,
yeah.
Right? So I want to say really quickly, you guys, if you're on YouTube, I cannot see your comments. We are on My Mystical Life. That's where I can view the comments right now. I do not have a collective feed tonight, but we are going out on mass media. So if you are trying to get a comment across, or if you have a question for Bill, you can definitely post it here on the group, you guys, and I will put as many questions through as I can. But I do want to say that Nancy Bulliard said patchouli and sandalwood's the 70s specials for incense. But I know there's people on YouTube, but I cannot see you. So if you head over to My Mystical Life on Facebook, you can find us there. So I really find it so interesting. I find Madame Circe interesting. You know, of course, I've seen pictures of her, and she scared the living hell out of me if I had to meet her in person. I swear she would. I mean, I'd just be like, whoa. She's just got a very, very powerful energy to her, just in photography, you know, in photos. And she just seems like this huge presence in this little individual. So I really kind of want to talk about how life-changing it was to accidentally run off across a teacher. Like the teacher's dropped in your lap and you're like, what the hell do I do with this? How life-changing was that for you at that point in your life?
I was, prior to being a student of the craft, I was a Lutheran by religion.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and I, we were having really seriously hard times. And
wait. Is that my mom?
well, we were.
Yeah, it was my mom at the time. Okay. She's still my mom.
Your mother on there?
Okay, it was just clarifying. Not everybody knows that you're my dad.
Yeah. Is that
okay?
mom on there?
Is my mom here? No, she's not on here. She don't watch this. She says I'm going to hell. It's okay. Look, you guys, I'm so sorry. It just is a thing, right? Okay, go ahead.
Where was I? Okay. Oh yeah.
I derailed.
We had issues, and so I'm not one to give up easy. And so I went and talked to my minister at my church, and you know what he told me? Gotta have faith. Now I want you to know every minister in the world is trained in marital relations and you know how to help folks out. But I got you gotta have faith thing. Okay. So then I went to talk to her priest at the St. John's there in Toledo.
Uh-huh.
And you know what he told me?
Gotta have faith.
That's it. And shortly after that is when I went out and I got drunk and I ended up over at Circe's. And she basically slapped me upside the head and said, if you want to come here, come here. If you don't want to come here, get that heck out of here. And I said, okay. I'll sit in a couple of classes, like I said, and that was years worth of that. As for instance, she would teach you. We went to class. We'd go in the big classroom up on the top floor of the place, and she'd teach these large classes, usually 20 to 25 people at a time. And then everybody broke up, and we was all heading to the house. Then there was down in the first floor was the kitchen, and there was a few of us that would go and hang around in the kitchen because we always learned more in the kitchen, and that's how we got the nickname Kitchen Witches.
Right.
Yes. So anyhow, but we basically gave that name to ourselves. But one evening in there, we was sitting there talking, and this is probably about 12:30 at night. And she said, I need some lettuce or something like that for salad for dinner, because she was fixing our dinner. And she said, Lucas, go down to the store and get some lettuce or whatever, I forget. And it's halfway across town. Good Lord, it was midnight. Toledo was closed, you know. So I drove across town, got this damn lettuce, pardon me, come back, put it down. She says, that's not the right stuff. It ain't fresh enough. Go get some more. At normal times then, I would have just blown up and told her to go blankety blank and, you know, head out. I got back in the car, drove across town. Put that lettuce in my trunk because couldn't take it back. I got 2 more things of like lettuce, I think it was. Brought it back to her, handed it to her. She says, you should have done that right the first time. Did she say thank you? No.
No.
But then, a long time after that, one of the people that was in the Kitchen Witch group, she said, you know, she talked about you the whole time you were gone. And I said, what's going on? You know, and Lucy was out to teach you a lesson of humility. So for 10 years, she taught classes. What? I can't hear you.
Keep going. Keep
Oh.
going. I have to go see who's knocking on my door.
Oh, okay, okay. Anyway, so that was one circumstance. It her teaching methods were arcane at the very least. They were extremely thorough, and she always told everybody in the class, not everybody in the craft can accomplish everything that is being taught. You might be going into class learning the basics of reading the tarot cards. Okay. You were not expected to be a fantastic card reader. She would teach maybe different magical things, things to like to help sleep or help heal people, a sundry of different things. It turned out my particular calling was that as a teacher, and which I lavished in because I am a ham from get-go. I love the attention. So with that in mind, I started teaching with her occasionally. Sometimes when she was out of town, I would teach something, or I'd help her out with her classes. And all the time, learning every day. The person in a classroom that learns the most is the teacher, because the student finds 1,000 different webs on that spider web to find information, all on the same thing. And then you got to pick it up and put it together. And it's very, very fun. It's very entertaining. It's being with her was like living on the edge of a cliff, and down at the bottom of the cliff was broken glass. Don't fall off.
Wait a minute. What trait did I get from Bill? Step away for a minute. It was the mayor of the town shaking hands and kissing babies, talking about us. And he's such a nice guy. I was like, oh, that's really nice. If he's going to still live here after 2 weeks, I'd talk to you about this, but I got to go.
So anyhow, that was the kitchen witch thing, and all the really good lessons were learned in the kitchen, talking and passing information back and forth.
Yeah.
And things like that. So.
Oh, we have a really important question.
Yes.
Nancy Bulliard, it's for Nancy Bulliard. Did you throat punch anybody yet? I put in the throat. Lisa Phillips wants to know if you punched anybody. I want to know if you throat punched anybody. Just let us know. We hope your day got better. People are having some rough days. We were talking earlier about the energies that are around right now, because my house here, and I'm home alone, has been super active in the last day. Like, have you had the same thing? Like seeing shadows and anything around your house?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, twice.
Twice? Yeah.
Once just here a few weeks ago. And how the living room is set up there. I was sitting there watching, right, and somebody was sitting on the couch. And then I looked over, the couch was gone.
Gone.
But I'm telling you, somebody was sitting on the blasted couch.
It's energies are really high right now. There's been a lot of astrological things going on, but we were talking earlier today about the I'm trying to shut my phone off. The anticipation everybody has of it being 9/11 tomorrow.
Oh.
And it ramping up the energy and the anxieties that people are, it's the anniversary, and it just seems to be a big deal this year for some reason. It's a big deal every year, but this year, for whatever, the energy seems to be a little bit higher. And it's just like I had somebody walking in the bathroom. I could see feet under the door, and I'm alone, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So, but yeah, that was something we were talking about. Your house has been very calm, very awesome. So you guys, Nancy's not punched anybody yet. She's simmering, but she's going to be good. She's going to be good. What kind of questions do you have for Bill? I mean, you're more than welcome to ask questions about, how he started his journey, any kind of, the questions that we have, like how hard was it to step away from one thing to the other? And I'm going to ask that because I don't think we've ever talked about that. I'm kind of curious how your parents took it. Like, how did Grandma and Grandpa Lipinski take you stepping away from what they would have considered traditional religion and doing your own thing?
I could, if I had a movie of, you remember me talking about Lady Artemis?
Yes, yes.
Artemis and I, we were married for a whole 5.5 weeks. And at the wedding, my mother and father were there. And you would have thought that the sun rose and set by that woman. I mean, my father introduced himself to her, and my mother also. And the question was raised, well, how do you feel about this? And my father says, as long as it's what he wants, that's good for me. And my mother was devout Christian, and she thought that it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, yeah, they were good about it. They didn't. They just didn't give any outward, bad lookouts for it or anything like that. They were
Right.
good. I was really, really, really happy with it.
I was going to pass on this question.
Don't do that.
No, I was going to. I really was. And I actually typed it into somebody's, Aaron asked a question, and I was going to pass on it. And I'm not going to. I'm going to put it out there because I think that the relationship that we have now is really a result of the answer to this question. Because I think we have like this really great relationship. It is. It didn't develop, you guys, when I was younger. We didn't really start talking until I was 25 or 26, something along that time frame. And that's a long time ago, by the way.
I come up to they're by Farmville.
Yep.
And greeted me in cowboy boots and a flannel shirt and Levi's. And here I am sitting holding a rope, pocket full of posies here, and stuff. And follow me back to the house. Okay.
It was my stress response is really what it was. I was nervous to meet him, and he was nervous to meet me. And we hadn't really had any contact throughout childhood. And because the question was, how was it raising Lisa? And I got to tell you guys, it would have been hard. Because actually, that's about where he would have found me anyway. Well, maybe not. See, everything changes with that question, because if it had been I was living and we had remained, an intact family, then I wouldn't have been into horses, and I wouldn't have been able to say I would have been out horseback riding every day, which is what I did when I was younger. So, I mean, it's just one of those questions that. And actually, several people asked it, so I thought I better not avoid it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I made some mistakes, and your mom made some mistakes, and between the two of us, we contributed to that. But everything is just wonderfully fine. I got the most beautiful daughter in the world, and her husband is top shelf. Also, I think the world of him. How many people can say that their kids and their other half is as good as these two are? I'm just.
Okay. Now we got embarrassed than me. But I mean, honestly, you guys, and Christine Emerson said it is divine timing. There is always in the family unit, when kids are growing up, people that act out. She looks a lot like you, Bill. Oh yeah, like the carbon copy of him. People act out. Maybe I would have been a really bitchy kid. I don't know. I thought it was great. My mom thought it was like great too, I think. But I don't know, Angel, what do you think? Angel's on here, and I think she's just going to end up adopting you as a father.
Really?
I think so. Huh?
Welcome to the fold.
You have a redheaded child now. No more though. Okay, no more. I can't take that anymore.
No, I don't need no more surprises, please.
Story there, guys. Anyways. But the divine timing of it, Lisa was mom's favorite. No, that's not true, Angel. It's not true. It's just I was the quietest. That's all. That's really what it was. But the divine time, you have people saying, hey, I'm up for adoption. The divine timing of it was a real aha moment for me. So let's call that one of my aha moments, and I didn't realize it until right now. The difference between being a child and an adult is being able to see your parents sometimes through that lens of, holy shit, they make mistakes, and they make huge ones. So when it come up to time for me to see mom and dad, my stepdad and my mom, misbehaving in the grand scheme of which they were, I went, hey, you know what? I bet he's not as bad as what everybody kind of painted him to be. Oh, Mr. Fry keeps messaging me. So when I say he didn't raise me, it's okay, because I really credit that to the line of communication we have now. I really do. We talk on a very the adult level because we're adults.
Yes.
Yes, like that. I don't know. I was going to avoid the question, but I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I remember I bought daggone flowers and stuff, and I was had them there, and I was trying to be Texas, but yeah, there's only 2 places in the world anyhow. There's Texas, all the rest of those spots.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So, that's yes. Christine Emerson says things happen the way they're supposed to, and I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe that, and I really wish that people looked at situations from just different perspectives and are able to approach it, because that was a huge growth moment for me, by the way, you guys. Very much have my mother's attitude problem, and I can call it an attitude problem because
I want to.
I can. And it took a lot for me to step back and say, let's look at a different perspective. And it scared me shitless to be true. Angel says, woohoo, Bill's my Renadad. So what has been the best lesson Peg is taught? What has been the best lesson that you've been taught? So let's go with that. What's the best lesson you think you've been taught within the pagan community?
Patience.
Oh, great answer.
Patience. Because years ago, I did have no patience whatsoever. And every time I got off track at Circe's, I was instructed in patience, because she would tolerate me. And then she'd pull me aside and just basically dress me down and say, just what the blankety blank do you think you're doing? Who do you think I am? And so forth and so on. And she said, have you ever heard of patience? And she kept that up over the years. And it taught me to deal with lots of things completely differently than I would have done if I would never have met her.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've lived a pretty good life. I've met tons of people. I've become reanimated with my daughter. I have a wonderful place down here. Good people around me. I mean, all because I learned patience. And even if I was correct in going to correct somebody, patience, if you're smart, you won't do it. You may speak to a person later on the same topic and then explain to them your part of it, but don't go and blow no smoke up nobody's skirt or nothing. Yeah. But patience.
Patience. I like that. That's a good answer, because sometimes we have to slow down to see the greater picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Isis would like to know, do you have any patron deities?
Lord Mydradin. He's sort of if you look up the name Mydradin, if you can find it, he is the watchtower, or the watch of high places, the Lord God of high places. And then I also, now mind you, I picked this out many years ago. And since then, I've traced the name Mydradin. It follows the tune back to this wonderful guy that I love, and his name was Merlin. Yes.
Oh my God, you guys are going to love this, but go ahead, continue.
And yeah, it goes back to that, and it goes back to the medieval times, and then it sort of drifts apart, and it's just sort of goes dust and wind after that. But the story goes that the Lord God of high places and Merlin are tied together at the hip. So, and I did not know about that for years.
So I'm gonna relay something that people might find very, very interesting. Matter of fact, I know they will because I know these people really well on here. Myrddin and Merlin, of course, being the same individual that walked the planet for almost 5 centuries, you guys. It is documented through history that his feet physically hit the earth for 5 centuries. How amazing in that? It's an illuminated text. It goes from fictional Camelot on through. If you look at, and I know this is a little bit out there, but if you look at Harry Potter, some of the Sorcerer's Stone and things like that, that stupid mosquito is still alive, are very much associated to Merlin. So a lot of the lore that's in Harry Potter comes from some of these old stories that come back from the ancient times, Renaissance times, things like that, medieval. And what's really interesting, of course, we have soul families that we roll around with, right? We have soul families that we go around with each time, and they have different paths and they have different journeys, and we all hopefully be able to think of, figure out how we're associated from lifetime to lifetime. That damn mosquito, I know it's been bugging me for 2 days. Get it? Bugging me? Anyhow.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyhow, Metatron has had how many lives, you guys? How many incarnations has Metatron had? Metatron, I don't know if Bill and I have talked about this, but Metatron is one of the major forces that I work with. And when I say force, it's because he comes forward like a freight train, that I work with in everything that I do. He has had 2 incarnations. Actually, it depends on who they're saying, right? Thoth, actually 3, but you can think of Thoth as being a different pantheon. So you have Thoth, you have Merlin, and you have Metatron. They're all the same person.
Imagine that.
I know, right?
I have to admit, I did not know that. Yes. Okay. All right. I understand. But
yeah. So
I understand the history of Merlin. He
right.
is with old King Arthur and those kind of guys. He goes back in
way. Yeah.
They say he rests in a crystal cave, and when is needed again, he will arise.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to step into this, you guys. Anybody that's been watching me for quite a while has heard me talk about the crystal caves within that I've sat and talked to Metatron and extraterrestrial energies within Denali and Mount Shasta. So I've talked about Merlin is Metatron. Yes, Merlin was Metatron. He had an incarnation, but actually his name Merlin was more of a cinematic type of thing. His name was actually Myrddin, and it's I don't know if I'm spelling it or saying it correctly, but it's Myddrin. And what's really funny is, well before I started doing any of this, I was writing a book, and one of my major characters was Myrddin. Well before this, decades before this. So it's just really interesting to see the correlations. Now, once again, this is, I think, why we touched on, no, Saint Germain was the Comte domain. Comte, hold on, there's a name for him. I have to go into that. But Bill and I, like we said, what about Enoch? Yes, Enoch too. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. Merlin, Thoth, and Enoch is Metatron. Merlin, Thoth, and Enoch is Metatron. But I threw Metatron in there as a life. So I didn't grow up around him, you guys. We have so many similarities. And when he started talking, I don't think I've ever asked him who his patron deity was. Ever. And when he started talking about it, I was like, holy crap. Wow.
And there's another similarity. Myrddin starts with an M. They all
were. Absolutely, they do, right? They all do. And then we have Enoch from the Bible as well. He was Enoch. But interesting. But in your lore, they talk about him being in a place on high, when actually what Metatron, when he works with me, isn't it a really cool connection? Thank you so much, Isis, because you really kind of put that together for me. In the Archangel theology of Metatron, he's not actually an angel. He is a higher deity than that. He is the voice of God. So it's like you have the divine energy of the universe, then you have Metatron, then you have the energies that have been around forever, those archangel energies, and that work outward from there. So amazing, cool connection. Amazing, cool connection. I never put it together.
Well, I never thought about it until we were, discussing
Yeah,
it.
right.
Well,
And the book I was writing was medieval, but it wasn't Camelot. It was much darker and danker than that. It was just really kind of a cool book. And he was one of the main characters. It was well before anybody knew that name of him. Everybody called him Merlin. I just did some digging.
I wish you could have done a couple of years studying with Lady Circe.
Oh gosh,
You
that would have been cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Christine's like, so Enoch and Merlin are actually Metatron incarnated. So yes. You've been off grid, Nicole. Yes, you have. And it's interesting. Now we do have a Saint Germain class, you guys. In the membership that talks about who Saint Germain incarnated as. So there's a Saint Germain and Violet Flame off the top of my head. Things come in and out, but Metatron, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. That was a great question. I love that. Okay. Any other questions? Let's see. Thank you so much. Isis. I've never asked him that. Lisa, don't lose this.
That's really just when you choose the name of your entity that you use. You use him. And you pick it out. It's private just to you. And you're my daughter. I could share it with you, and now the whole world knows about it.
So let's go there. First, Angel. Angel, you're gonna have to watch the rewind a little bit because he starts talking in the beginning about how he got started on paganism. You have to watch it because I had to step away. It's really kind of a cool story. I love how he started and was kind of adrift and lost and looking and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So let's move over to this. Let's move over to this because my mind is not blown on this one. I already had an idea of that, but it's interesting, right? Absolutely. Merlin was an alchemist. Alchemist really makes sense. Christine asked, yeah. So you have to watch the beginning of that. He starts talking about how he got started, which is a really, really cool story. So make sure you catch that beginning again. You could sit and listen to this all night long. We are not that entertaining. So let's talk about the differences between what you see and what you learned in the beginning of your journey according to what you see now. There's such a broad spectrum that we see on the internet. Of course, everybody's journey is perfect for them and they have to weed that out. Rachel had a question, I didn't see it. Repeat your question, Rachel, and I'll make sure to watch for it. But what is the differences you see, positives and negatives, between then and now?
Now, before, when I was younger and I was going to the Lutheran church, everything was, you got to do this, that, and everything was 100% in order. You had to study this, you had to study that. Then we give you a test on it, blah, blah, blah. It was okay at the time because I didn't know any better. The craft teaches you, if you see something and if you, that particularly, if it interests you, jump off the main drag there and follow this. Now, stay with your learning processes, which are mostly, golly, they're accumulated over the years. If you study, say you studied 3 years and 3 days with Circe, and then you went over here and studied 3 years and 3 days with another teacher, you're going to find they're different covens, groups, whatever you want to call them, teach different guidelines. And Circe always taught to teach you to see where your tactics, your best inclinations towards, whether it be cards or, by the way, tell these people, do not ever use a Ouija board. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's more you are a person of your own thoughts in the craft, and if they go, good Lord, all over the place, well, fine, go all over the place, chase them down, find the information you're looking for. Like I said earlier, mine was, teaching the craft. I just love doing it, and I got to watch out because my motor mouth will run for hours on end, and God, yeah, okay. So anyway, I could go on for hours about that, but through my knowledge of the craft, like I'm a deer hunter, but when I shoot a deer, I give thanks for that deer. I make sure that it never suffers, and I never leave a critter laying on the ground that I've shot. It goes in the stew pot. It all gets consumed. There is a progression of whatever the universe offers you that we're on the upper level of the food chain. So it's a thing that's, it's acceptable.
Respect.
But it's like if you chop down a tree, give thanks to the tree because you're going to use that for either firewood or building material or whatever, Oh God, I could go on for hours. It's the difference between what I was back then was a construction hand that had no direction, and it turned me into a construction man that found a life. Yeah, found a way to live. Yeah. If I wouldn't have been in craft and having learned what I have learned, we probably never would have gotten back together again because I was all over the place all the time following work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
stability.
Yeah. It makes sure you can use your mind for what it's designed for. And that's like what I've been telling you here. I've been sitting here diddling with this thing. Okay. Right. All right. That's a thought process.
Right. Keeps you busy.
Yeah. Keeps you busy. Keeps you going down the path. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Christine Emerson says, have you ever had a negative experience with practicing paganism? This is a good question.
Negative. I can't think of one. Although one time I almost made an error. I got really angry at some people, and I was heading up to the upstairs chapel, and I was going to do all kinds of bad things to this person. And then Cersei tapped me on the shoulder, and she says, what you're doing, it can come back and haunt you.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs and I jumped up around, pranced a little bit, and came back downstairs. All was good. Yeah.
You came to your senses. Awesome.
Because there is no such thing as a spell that's actually written down and carved in stone. You take it and you do with it how you would do with it. Some people write them down and pass them on, and that's okay too. If you do a spell against another person, if you are not justified in what you're doing to that person, you know who pays the karma, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't go there either. But no, I can't think of anything really bad that I've ever done that would, put me in danger or anything like that. No.
So I'm going to ask this one for Rachel, and then I'm going to ask you one of my own. Okay. Is there anything you do daily for your craft?
Yes. I wake up in the morning, I have a cup of coffee and a glass of iced tea, like this one right here. And I think about my life. And I spend about 15 or 20 minutes going over who Bill is, what can I do today, how can I actually make things a little bit better. And I do a little thing to the watchtowers, and that only takes a few seconds. It's just recognition of the marks of the watchtowers. And that's really about it. That's how I start my day. And I always end the day with talking to the watchtowers also.
Okay.
Uriel, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. So, yes, go southeast.
Isn't it amazing, though, that even within paganism, we're talking to the archangels? Because they supersede, because that's who the watchtowers would be in relationship with on the archangel end of things. They supersede religion, but they've been steeped into religion. So those energies are so much bigger and so much more than what we think of them, you guys. They are they supersede everything that has ever walked this planet because they've been here forever. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I have my question. Okay, my question is, and I know she asked, have you ever had anything negative happen, but has anything ever scared you? Not like you had a negative occurrence, but has anything ever scared the shit out of you when you went, whoa, 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 whoa. Recover to another.
No, not within the craft. Now, I have gone places. I think I told you about this.
Matagorda, yeah.
Matagorda, down there. And then when I was in Terlingua, Texas, it has the oldest haunted cemetery that they know of in the United States. And I went down there and trapped around, and I got contacted during the daytime around noon, went back at midnight and got contacted again. And I was informed, please leave my resting place. And I left. This part is something just outwardly that I could almost hear it verbally, although it wasn't verbal. There was a person with me, but
right.
I heard it, and it was.
Was it up?
Yeah, and you know the little ghost detector thing.
Oh yeah.
I have it recorded on there, so any of the in doubt, I can show them the wording. Yeah, get out of here, But
you guys can see where I get my frank nature from, right? I got to tell you, and I know we've said it. I didn't grow up next to him. I met him later in life, but man, I'll tell you, my brother and I are carbon copies of this man. I look like him. My brother doesn't, but they have so many similar things. So there's a lot there, you guys. The genes are strong in this family. But here's what I find. I find this really interesting. We do the same, but in different ways. Okay. I always look at paganism as being a much more grounded, shamanic kind of thing. And then on the other side, I'm all the way up here in the clouds going, look at the spirits. So we have these two, hi Janet, we have these two modalities that really, when I was taking classes from my cousin on Wicca and paganism, I didn't feel, because I did start, and I actually asked him to approve of my cousin to teach me. I did start walking that path, but it didn't feel like mine. So even though they are the same, there's just different insights and different vibrations that go with it. So it's really, I know he would be an awesome addition to the Salem event. I know he would. I'm getting those comments over here on this side. And trust me, this man has the clothing to go to Salem, okay?
Yeah.
And yes, I'm seeing it as well. Yes, he'd be awesome to see and meet in person. I get it. But I don't know that he is up for a Salem trip.
Well, let's see what happens. We'll see.
It's going to be, hey, we can take you downtown. Will be super nice and just like parts of waves for you so you can walk through downtown.
I take my Ford or my Cadillac broom.
Dude, I will attach a horse, like a big, huge night horse, like with armor and stuff to your thingy. I was planning this the other day.
Unicorns. Don't get me.
I know we're not going to do you. I was thinking a big black steed. And you have grandchildren that do leather work and chain mail. Come on. It would be so cool. I put thought into this. I was like, I want to go to the Renaissance Festival. I wonder if he'll go if I make a horse to put on his thing.
That's not a necessary thing. But I'd go to the festival up there, and they have that horse-drawn carriage that you can rent. I'd rent
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wait a minute. So you can rent it for the day?
I can.
Oh, and we can walk around like this and be like.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Probably cost, a bunch, but who cares?
Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's funny. I know everybody. I wish Salem was a thing, and that's really up to him. You want to dress in steampunk? Have at it. I'm going to encourage our oldest to dress in steampunk. The wheels are spinning, right? Feel like, wait, how do I get to Salem now?
East.
Yeah, east. But yeah, it is interesting. I'm reading comments as we go over here too. I wish you could go too, Janet. It would be so much fun. Nancy Bolliard, we love your father. I'm gonna go. Aaron's going full punk for Salem. Hey man, bring it. We're gonna have a good time. So how do you think? And we're gonna wrap up with this. West for you, Stace. Where are you? How can you can't go west to go to Salem?
No, it's the wrong place.
Can't.
Nobody wants to go.
We're right in Gloucester. I mean, like right on the water.
It's north from Gloucester, if I'm not mistaken.
Do what?
I don't know.
No, Salem is south of Gloucester.
Okay.
But we're going for the lobster, and no, I don't know what. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, what do you think about the? And I really do. I put a lot of this on, and this is a whole separate section. We could talk all day about this. What do you think about the joining? How to put this? The new age. Okay, not new age. That's not the right word. The joining climate of everybody wants to do the pagan thing online, and how the online communities and climates have kind of changed modern paganism. You're from Denmark. Yeah, you would be coming west. Aroma Witch, you'd be coming west. Good question, deep question, big question for a whole nother segment. I mean,
I understand that there's been some people doing online classes.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that there's so much lost in online class. I mean, I can't go up and look over your shoulder and read what you have written down. I can't go and I can't. I like to have the personal contact for a class. Perfect class is about 20 people. And at the end of 3 years and 3 days, you're going to probably have 8 or 10 left.
Right.
They fall off to the right side, yeah. But
I know it's a deep, mucky question, isn't it? There's a lot of people out there that are walking the walk, talking the talk, but not walking the walk anymore. And okay, Aaron. Okay, Aaron. Don't make me put you in the corner, man. I can't even repeat that. I wish you could see the feed. You could, but it's a multitasking thing when it comes up to Facebook, and I have a hard time doing it. So, Aroma Witch Empath, she is from, okay, let me go back up here. She is from, she's an old Nordic, she says. She actually is in Europe. I think she lives in Norway. We just met her. She's new. She's part of the Parachills family of podcasters. And she says, I would love an old fire dance in the moonlight for the love of the moon. I think that's really cool. Wouldn't it?
bingo.
Yeah.
There is a book that I have that I bought it a long time ago. And I keep it on my desk all the time. I'm going to show you what it is. That book right there. And that thing there has got, if a person is interested in a craft and you want the basic stuff to get started, even if you want to be solitary, that book, Living Wicked, is a very good book. It's got the basics you need to learn how you go about getting started in it. And you don't have to go to classes. The craft is a religion of the earth. Everything about the earth, if you look at it and you take care of it, it will take care of you.
Right.
witchcraft. I don't like that.
Exactly. Pagan,
Yeah.
old religion, the ancient religion, Druidism, all those things, shamanism, the oldest pagan craft out there. It is the oldest documented paganism out there. Of course, paganism just means farmer. So, I mean, what are you going to take from that? You know, so she's actually from Denmark. She's actually Aroma Witch empath is from Denmark. That's really cool. No, I see your comments, Stace. I see your comments. Nancy Billiard said she's had that book for years, Living Wicca.
Yep. She's got it?
Yeah. Nancy Billiard and you would get along really great. She's a lot of fun. She's been Wiccan for a very, very long time.
To me, being Wiccan is getting up with a good attitude. Say your compliments and adorations to whomever you want. Live your day by the craft and go to bed at night and hope you wake up in the morning. Sometimes it's, the last one is not the easiest one, but yeah, you're going to find out if you do that, you will have a wonderful, wonderful, peaceful life. Oh, one thing about the craft too, like in Christianity, it says turn the other cheek. We don't turn our cheeks. If you slap me upside the head, I'm going to be angry.
That's that old school thing right there.
Yep. But that's again, I'm justified because if somebody slaps me upside the head.
That's true. And Stace, you're totally right. Maine juts out from the east and north of Massachusetts. You would be going west. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. Practicing pagan and light worker and walking my talk as best I can, Nancy says. Absolutely. That's all we can all do, right? It really is all we can all do.
Sometimes you just really got to work at it hard. Life throws wrenches in your gears, and you got to know how to stay going down the straight line.
Any of my friends that have talked to me in the last 2 days have been like, "Oh, Lisa, calm down." Oh, bear. I've been trying to walk my talk in the last couple of days, and some days it's a stretch, but I'm doing it. Some days it's a stretch, but we have to realize that we did all these things to ourselves, right? Aroma Witch says, love is the key to it all. Energy, yin yang elements are all family, like the angels and like the queen of the night. Yep. Balance, elementals, all that, right?
The yin and yang says it all. For every dark, there's light for every water, absolutely. Sky. Yep. It's all right there. All you got to do is look for it and see it.
And knowing the dark and the light, you have to be able to recognize both to be able to differentiate, right?
Did you ever tell them about my church with the pews and everything? No,
I don't think so.
You want to see my church?
Walk out in front of our geography.
Walk out your back door.
Oh, outside, yeah.
Woods. Find yourself a nice log somewhere. That's my pews. Take a good look up into the sky, and I'm going to show you the most beautiful glass window you ever saw in your life. And then look at the ground, and that's grass is really my carpet. Hence, be Wicca.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Beautiful, beautiful. Really quickly, let's share one last little story. I want to talk about Bill's first authentic ghost hunt, paranormal investigation. We're in Matagorda.
Hello. Yeah.
We went. It was Allie Rosebrock, Lexi Animal Communicator, and myself and Bill and Patty, and we all went down and we installed, because I didn't have any equipment on me. We installed the ghost hunting stuff on our phones, and we went to the Matagorda Cemetery, which is really haunted, right there by his house. And what did you get to experience that night?
Oh, you want me to tell the story?
I do.
Okay, we were out
so well.
11 or 12 o'clock at night. I forget exactly.
Late.
But it was anyhow, and we got down there, and we were walking through the cemetery, and it got to the point where the ladies were up in front of me, and I was maybe a dozen paces behind them, And I was sitting there looking at my little Ghostbuster thing on my phone, and it went a little bit nuts. And I thought, oh, look at that. And I looked up, and off to my left side was the town of Matagorda, which is small, probably 2,000 people at the most. And I could barely see over in the dealer, a little bit of light. And then as I was looking over there, I saw this cowboy. And I don't know if you know what a duster is. It's a cowhand's long raincoat kind of thing. And that's what they would wear on a horse in bad weather and stuff like that. And then they have the high collar that goes up around their neck. Well, I turned over and I looked to the left, and there was a cowboy there with his hat pulled down over his head. And he was just walking along with me. And I looked back down at my phone and I said, hey, wait a damn minute, pardon me. And I looked back and it's gone. And I know what it was now. But back then, I believe I said, ladies, I think we got to go. Something like that. And we left. But back then, what I saw, what I feel today is it was like I was visiting in his home and he was walking along with me. And there was nothing bad about this or nothing. It was just some cowboy taking a walk. And anyway, we left shortly after that. And
Very shortly.
Yeah.
Very, very shortly.
But
Very
it
shortly.
was totally an experience.
Yeah.
Because the gentleman was there. And I say gentleman because he was. And we left. And then we went to Trilingua. Yeah, Trilingua. That was a. But if you look up the town of Trilingua, Texas, and it is most haunted cemetery in the United States by far.
Really, really. Amber says, I love a man in a cowboy hat and a duster.
Yeah. I'll go.
It was an interesting evening. Okay, you guys. So that was our chat this evening, and just getting on to have some fun, and have something else to do instead of sitting and watching television, huh? Just getting to meet Bill, and I've had people ask me when Bill was coming on, so it seemed like it was a good evening to do that. I'm just sitting here, right, in Oklahoma.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. One about the Trilingua thing.
Mm-hmm.
Down in there during the middle of the day, I'm walking down. You have to understand the lay of the land. It's rock. I mean, there's a little bit of dirt, but it's mostly rock. And the people, when they bury their people down there, they're shallow buried, covered in rock. And then they always got these little rock fences around them and, things like that. And during the middle of the day, I'm walking down there and there was a couple of these rocks had fallen out between the grave sites, which is only maybe 4 foot apart, 5 foot apart.
Right.
And there was some of them down in there, which you could stumble over. My little machine goes off and says, danger. And I have my foot up in the air. I'm going to climb. I'm walking over this right at that moment. And it says, step. And okay. So I took it at its value and I went on. And I have that recorded on my phone too. So that was interesting. Then we went back later that night at almost midnight. And I wasn't in there 10 minutes. And the phone come back on again. And it told me basically, get your big Polish butt out of here.
Oh, yeah, that does happen, though. They give you that warning, don't they? So we have things like, come back and share your wisdom more often, Mr. Bill.
I've got all kinds of stories. I can talk about myself all day long.
Bill, it was so nice to see you. Thank you so much. I'm let's see, better than studying cardiology. Absolutely. Daddy Bill, thank you, Daddy Bill and Lisa Fry. Love you both. That's from Eric Kilmer. Guys, I really appreciate you thank you for joining us, Bill. You have a wonderful, okay, I'm not going to read that because that's like, I know, it makes me, she says she likes me anyways. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you all for listening to my stories.
All right, guys, everybody have a nice evening. Christine, make sure you do a lot of studying so you do well in that cardiology. And thank you so much for spending time with us, you guys. And we will talk to you guys later as soon as Lisa figures out how to stop. Oh, there's how I stop the live stream. So find light, find love, find joy, feel divine because you are. And bye. Say bye. All right, guys. Talk to you later.